Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Miss J Speaks Talk Show and Podcast. Director and founder, Miss Angela Johnson, and I am her co-host, Janet Brown. Today we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful topic today, and it's a topic that is quite depressing, but it's information that we all go through sometimes, but we need to know how we can deal with it. And it's not about if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And so all that feel like they want to engage, feel free to jump in. We do have a guest tonight that will be coming on. Miss Angela Johnson will be introducing her because she didn't send me her notes. So, and there she is, our beautiful lady, Miss Angela Johnson. I can't hear
Oh,
you.
can
Yep.
y'all hear me now?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
ma'am.
I know you didn't throw me on the bus. I know, but y'all know what? She's telling the truth. I forgot. I forgot. I apologize. I apologize.
That's okay.
I love you, girl. I love you, girl.
You the
But yes,
one, you the lady.
yes, our guest. Thank you for doing for welcome everybody, Janet. Um, but our guest tonight, actually, she's a returning guest. She wanted this is why this is on a special night because y'all know our segments usually be on Saturdays. But she's a returning guest because she wanted to tell her story. Okay, and y'all know this. Y'all know what this platform is all about. Having people try to start their healing process. Okay, so that's why we're doing this tonight. And our returning guest is Miss Varsha McCullough. Now, y'all gonna recognize her from our last segment that we had on Estranged Families. But I'm gonna welcome her on in. Excuse me, y'all. And y'all got to excuse me. Yes, I'm a little messed up again, but it's okay. There she is. Yes, yes,
Hi,
yes, yes,
beautiful.
Hi,
yes, honey.
how are you?
Yes. Look at this beautiful this queen up in here. Look at her.
The
Thank you
beautiful,
How are
the
so
you?
beautiful
much.
soul.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for coming
Thank
in
you.
here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you want to do this. You want, and like Janet stated, this is a topic that we need to talk that needs to be talked about. And also,
Right.
Janet, won't you agree that it's a taboo topic? And that
Yeah,
it's a
we all are
yes, it's
eventually going to go through it, you know. And I know you yourself know it firsthand right now, things that you're going through personally with you and your family. It was just breathtaking for me. And my condolences to you and your families.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Y'all just don't know how that. Thank you so much. For that, Janet. Thank you. I really appreciate that because we going through it. Um, but this topic now, can't you agree, Janet? This is a taboo topic, right? And we're gonna
What do you mean by taboo topic?
it's a topic that people don't like to talk about.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
topic that people like try to hide up under the rug. It's a topic like people think it don't exist, but it is. It's a topic like when it does happen to that particular person, they make this thing called let me use an example for the example, jumping off a bridge. Oh, she didn't jump, she fell off the bridge. No, she jumped off the bridge. Do you
right.
see what I'm talking about? How people try to make it seem like that did not happen. And the word is suicide.
Yeah, it's sad.
That's the word. Suicide. And
So
saying that is scary.
yeah, it is very
Yeah.
scary
It's
because
Yeah.
scary.
before people get to that point, depression comes before people get to taking their own lives. So it's they have to be in a deep depression. I was looking up some research on that, but I don't know if we're going to get into that right now.
Oh yeah, we come on. Let's talk. Let's talk. We
Well,
all gonna have a conversation. Varsha's gonna. I got a couple questions. We're gonna ask Varsha.
you look
Um,
so pretty,
yeah,
Vasha.
I
Thank
told her
thank
that.
you.
I told
Thank
her
you.
that.
It's so good
Thank
having you here again.
Yes.
thank you.
I when you talk about suicide, whenever you talk about anything that that emotional, that's not even the word that I'm looking for, but it's devastating. When someone take their own life because they don't have the opportunity to say to the Lord, "Forgive me." You know,
Mm,
they can't
Right.
they can't say that. But what is depression? I like going to the scriptures because y'all know I'm very spiritual minded.
yeah. Yes. We don't
And it
mind that.
doesn't just happen to people in the world; it happens to Christians too. As Psalms, it says 38:6 is that I have become disconcerted, have bowed low to an extreme degree. All day long, I walk about sad.
Mm,
So you have to think about who wrote the Psalms and what they were going through. Research says that everyone feels down now and then,
Yes.
but clinical depression is a debilitating disorder. It's a disorder when people are depressed, and people shouldn't take it lightly. And people should not be ashamed, of saying I'm depressed. Some people walk around with depression, and because they're ashamed to say that I'm depressed,
Yeah.
it's ongoing that interferes with the personal daily life. It should be noted that not all experts agree on what is normal. See, not all experts agree on that sadness and what constitutes a disorder. However, it's safe to say that some people experience profoundly negative emotions at times, accompanied by feelings of worthlessness and or ignore. And that's this always been a word that I always tied my tongue. Inordinate. Say it. Y'all know what I'm trying to
Is
say.
it ignorance?
It's guilt. They can't.
Oh,
They
they guilty.
sadly
Okay.
feel guilt about it. My concerns is depression. Is depression the sufferer's fault? Because a lot of people are depressed because they feel like it's something that they didn't do. At Romans, it says all creations keep on growing together, being in pain together. So everybody
Mm.
feel this.
Yes.
Some point in time in your life, you're going to go through depression. You just
Yes.
don't want that depression to stay untreated until it becomes suicide.
There you
You see
go.
what I'm saying? The Bible says that the Bible teaches that illness is a byproduct of rebellion of the first human pair. And we know that. So people got to understand that we're imperfect and we inherit this imperfection. For it says, as why with error I was brought forth with birth pains, and in sin my mother conceived me. So
Mm.
it's okay to feel abnormal. It's okay
Okay.
to feel off sometime,
Yeah.
and even for long periods of times, because we suffer from what sin. We suffer from what we inherited from our forefathers and mothers, and we got to know that. So when they did that, sin entered into the world, and death through sin, and then it spread it to all men. And because we inherit this imperfection from Adam, each of us is susceptible to illness, both physical and emotional. So that
Mm.
inheritance came from our forefathers. We have to keep that in our minds. That poor baby that killed themselves a few days ago, if people are educated, that's why I like to bring the scriptures into it,
Yeah.
because when you understand, you tend to know better. And when you know better, you do better.
You do better.
You don't
I
want,
like that. I like that.
yeah, because you don't want to not know. Then you see, then
Mhm.
you're still stuck in that same era. So as a result of the same Bible, all creations keep on growing together. However, the Bible also offers a hope that no physician can give you. So
Mm.
that's why the Bible is so important. No doctor can give you that hope. And God's promise of peaceful new world in which all sickness and disorders, including depression, will be gone forever. And y'all can find that in Revelations 21:4. Now, a
Revelation
lot of
21.
people would want to think that, oh, well, we know because when we go to heaven, but that's not what he was talking about,
That's right.
because there are no dead or sick people in heaven. Everybody, every soul that went there is truly living. He's talking about right here on earth as his paradise. Earth is where he had hope for mankind. So how can we cope with depression? Another scripture comes into mind, Psalms 34:18. Jehovah says, near to those that are broken at heart and those who are crushed in spirit. So why not turn to your creator and pray more? And some
Mhm.
people say, well, I've been praying. You know,
Yeah, I've heard that be said. Yep.
yeah, and they feel like it
I
doesn't
see you
they
shaking
feel
your
like it
head,
doesn't,
Marsha.
yeah, they feel like it doesn't matter. You cannot always control your circumstances, and bad things are bound to affect you.
Thank y'all for coming in and watching. Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bad things are bound to happen. Now, this is one of the scriptures, and I'm gonna leave it right here, and I can come back again. But I'm gonna
Okay.
share the scripture with y'all because this is a scripture that I want you guys to keep this in the forefront of your brain whenever you're going through anything that can possibly remote you, to the state of mind that you don't want to be here anymore because of this or that, losing a loved one or being abused.
Yeah.
or anything, or just been in a car accident. Why did God take my baby or my mama or my Ecclesiastics brings it out real clear. 9, 11, and 12. I want y'all to note that. It says, I have seen something further under the sun, that the swift do not always win the race, nor do the mighty win the battle, nor do the wise always have the food, nor do the intelligent always have the riches, nor do those with knowledge always have success, because time and unexpected events overtake them all. See, there isn't a reason for everything. Time and unexpected things just happen. For man does not know his time.
No,
And
beyond
12.
measure said, Amen.
That's right. And for number and 12, it says, for man does not know his time, just as fish are caught in an evil net and birds are caught in a trap. So the sons of men are ensnared in a time of disaster when it suddenly overtakes them.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So
Did y'all
there's
get
no
that?
reason for everything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to try to look for reasons. Why is this happening to me? Why did that happen to her? Sometimes it says right there, over is unexpected events overtake them all. There is not a reason. People like to say there's a reason for this and there's a reason for that. No, it's our lives were not premeditated. God did not
Wow.
create
Now I
us
can
as
admit I'm guilty about that because I see you shaking your head, Varsha. I'm guilty for saying that. Well, it had to be. It's a reason for that. Yeah, there's a reason why this. I can admit that. I talk about myself.
the reason was what I spoke of in the first place. Our forefathers and mothers sinned against our Creator, and therefore, everything that came from them two individuals, including you and I, we inherit that sin. So that's why we grow old, that's why we get sick, and that's why we die.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
We
Thank you. Thank
inherited,
you.
we inherited these things.
I thank you for that part. That's part one. We're gonna get back. We're gonna talk some more. We're gonna talk some more. And you know the subject now is suicide. Suicide. Now, when I was doing my research on this, I ran across some things that really bothered me. I'm not gonna lie about it. Well, first, let's look at the word suicide. And where did it come from? It's an English English speaking society today word, suicide. And the preferred term is called self-inflicted death. That's the preferred term that the English in English speaking society called it. And it was evidence we accounted where suggested that suicide was deprived by Sir Thomas Browne. That's who first came up with it. Sir Thomas Browne. So now, Varsha. Now let me say this part. Let me say this part first. Then I'm gonna get to you. How do you know if you? This is the part that sort of bothered me because I saw some things that I was saying. How do you know if you're suicidal? How do you know if you're suicidal? I want y'all to listen to me. Have you been thinking that you would be better off dead? Do you wish you could go to sleep and not wake up? Perhaps you have been planning on how you will end your life or making preparations when you're not when you're going to do it. You may have actually begun to take actions to hurt yourself in a way that could kill you. These are increasingly serious levels that are called suicidal behaviors. Did you get that? Now, like I said, I could talk about me. I'm guilty for that one because I know as I was coming up, oh, yes, I used to say this. Yeah, better off dead. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that came in my mouth. Yes, it had on several times. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah, it has. Yeah, that's why I said when I saw that I what's that word? They say you felt conflicted. That's the word you use. I felt like okay, that I've said this several times.
Right.
So now, Varsha, I got my questions here. And if anybody in the audience is okay, Varsha, they ask you questions too.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, just to let y'all know, if y'all got some questions that you want to ask, type it in and we'll see it. So we're talking about depression and suicide, right?
Mhm.
How did you know, Varsha, how did you know what you was going through? It was depression. How did you know?
Well, I when I first found out I was depressed, I was going through a lot of emotional issues. I was fussing people out, cussing people out, just mad at everybody. Just like I was very irritable. Um, like anything could just set me off. Going through the stuff that I was going through at that particular time, it was just stuff piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up. So I went through the whole phase of I wish I was dead, or my life. You know what I'm saying? I would be everybody would be better off without me, or I felt I going back to the part of me being the black sheep. Well, if I'm the black sheep, everybody be better off without me. And I went through that whole phase. So the particular time that I wanted to end my life, I took and the crazy thing about it is they gave me I went to go see a psychologist, not psychiatrist at that particular time because I was working. And with me going through all the stuff I was working, it was mandatory that I had to go or I was gonna lose my job. So
Oh,
I had to go and talk to the people, whatever. So they pretty much said that I was depressed and stuff. So they ended up giving me medicine. So I'm taking the medicine, taking the medicine. You're supposed to take the medicine a certain part of time, and it's supposed to after so many weeks or whatever, it's supposed to be in your system and stuff like that. Well, me, I felt like, oh, it's not working, it's not working. So I decided to take 20 some odd pills because I felt like I was just better off without anyone. The
okay.
same
Stop right
pills,
there.
the same pills.
Stop right there. I gotta ask.
Mhm.
What led up to the day that you decided that you're gonna end your life?
I
What
was going through
what was
stuff.
going
I
through
was
your
going
mind, that you felt that okay, I'm getting ready to take all these pills.
so at a particular time I was going through stuff with my first husband, and I was going. He was going. I found out he was cheating. Um, and I was going through that along with just being irritable. Everybody just going through the stuff with family and stuff like that, and just everything just piling up on me at once. And at that particular
And
time,
you
I
won't
had
take your
my
medicine, right? You
I
really won't take. Okay, now I
I
gotta ask you
won't
this.
take it like I supposed to.
This is what I get ready to ask. Let me ask you this though, before you continue. Do you think do you think if you would have really took your medicine like you supposed to, do you think you would have gotten to that level or to the point where you want to take your life? Do you think you would have ever thought about doing it if you would have been doing like you supposed to with your meds?
That's hard to say because everybody's body is different. You know what I'm saying? So like I've seen people, that take their medicine every day consistently and they still depressed and they still going through. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say whether or not, if that medicine would have actually worked.
Yeah, I can
It's
see
hard.
that. I can see
It's
that.
hard.
I totally agree with you on that because just to jump in there, I was going through some stuff too at one point in time. They had me on a medication. Come to find out, big banner go across your news that you need to stop taking this medication because it is causing,
Suicidal thoughts.
yep, suicidal thoughts. And I was feeling weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was feeling weird. I was feeling like not, like nothing really. I didn't care
I
about.
had a friend. I had a friend of mine that was taking medicine, and I actually read up on it. And in the description, it had have suicidal. You might have suicidal thoughts. And I'm like,
Hmm.
why would you prescribe something for someone that's going to give you suicidal thoughts?
Yeah, and you already going through that.
Wow.
And this particular lady, and then I read up on it, and the lady had put her baby in the microwave, taking that medication.
Wow,
So
Wow.
medication ain't
wow,
always the key.
yeah. It's sometimes stronger than medicine. Some of the things that you go through is actually stronger than medicine sometimes. Um, you have it all comes with having support also,
Yeah, that's
and
Yeah,
you
true.
have to be willing. You have to be willing to talk to somebody, or even tell somebody, even if it's a family member or whoever it
That's the
may
key.
be.
That's
You
the
have to be
key.
willing to be comfortable enough to talk to them.
But when
And see,
Angela asked you
I
this
didn't
one
have the
question,
support
Angela
behind
asked
me.
you this one question. I don't want to interrupt you, but it's very vital that we really get that question down to a art, to the
hmm
Mhm.
T. What was going through your actual mind at that time? What was going through your mind to say, I don't want to breathe no more.
hmm
I don't want to exist no more. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? We really want to get into the mind, what causes people to actually, because people can talk about killing themselves all the time, but who actually, goes forward, do it, and then be able to come back and tell you how they felt. You know what I'm saying? But you attempted it. You actually attempted it.
That's right.
What was your mind thoughts right then
La-
that
e-
you
e-
was that you wasn't afraid, because
right.
that's scary to think about. You say, I don't want to
Right.
live. I felt like that. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like they'd be better off without me. I felt like that. I can't. We keep it real right here.
That's right.
Right.
But did I do anything to push that forward? No, I felt like it, but I said,
Right.
that's a scary thought. You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah,
if
and
you?
at that particular time, I was just, I was just like you said, I was mentally, I was just like, okay, there's no need for me to be here anymore. Nobody cares about me anymore. And if I die right now, like nobody's gonna be here anyway. So it was at that particular time, I was just like, if I just go ahead and take leave, nobody's gonna miss me. Nobody's gonna care.
Yeah.
And that's what was going through my head at that moment, like going
Right.
through the stuff that I was going through, and me not being able to really open up to people like I wanted to because of people judging you and stuff like
There
that.
you go.
There you
There you
Or
go.
There, right there. That's it.
it,
That's it right there. You
so
said it, Varsha. You said it.
Mhm.
People judge you. I mean, it should have been an ear there for you that you felt you could have picked that phone up and said, "Please, can I talk with you? Can you come to my house? I need to talk to you." And that person sit right there and you spill your guts out, and you knew and you know that person won't go open their mouth. But see,
right,
people don't do that. They sit and
no,
that you bear your soul out of them, and then here they go to damn
and they talk about you,
on the phone telling Sally Mae, Susan Mae, all your business. Do y'all hear this? People
and
need to talk.
it makes you not want to open up to people. You know what I'm saying? So like that was my thing. Like I really don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have anybody to open up to. I don't have anybody to cry to. I don't have anybody to not judge me.
Well, that's why they
And
got
it
hotlines designed, y'all. That's the key, is that you have to utilize, what we have, because we
right,
know that, we may not never have somebody there to talk to or to support. We know that people should be there, but everybody ain't, you may not have developed that circle of friends or
That's right.
family.
right.
That's right.
But the hotlines are put there for our benefit, and we got to utilize them,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what those people do.
Oh,
Okay.
and
And
I knew about the hotline. I knew
I was
about
gonna ask you.
friends.
Okay.
I knew about all this stuff, but at that particular time, I just didn't care.
well, I
So
call
that
the
Like
hotline.
morning you got up. That okay. Two Take me back 2 or 3 days before you thought about doing it. What was going on 2 or 3 days, that led up to that morning you just say, I'm ready to end my life.
I was working, like I was living a normal life, just working, um, just coming home and taking care of my kids, um, and just because my daughter at that particular time, my daughter was maybe like
And you didn't think
two
about them. You didn't think about
at that time I did.
I don't think about no.
When you going through stuff like that, it's like nobody at that particular time, nobody cared. You don't think about anything right there at that particular time. And I didn't. I was just like, okay, well, I know they'll be taken care of. That at that particular time, I'm like, okay, well, I know this person will take care of this, this person, that person, and I just didn't care. Like,
Yeah,
let
that's
people
it
down.
right there. That's what it is right there. You were putting your responsibilities off of someone else because you no longer wanted to be responsible. And so you
Right,
just assume that, that they'll take care. But this is what you got to keep in mind. If they didn't take care of you, how are they going to take care of them? See, if
right,
they didn't take care of
mhm,
your mental health, if they weren't there for your mental health, I'm not talking about your physical health. I'm not talking
Mhm.
about,
right,
let me give you a couple of dollars every now and then. I'm talking about your mental health. My daughter, she suffers with depression, and and I just, this topic is really is I'm holding back everything I can to keep
I
it
know
from.
you are, Janet. I
I'm,
know.
I'm struggling, but it's real.
it
It's real,
is.
and you know what? And I can relate to everything you said, Miss J said, all the people that I hear talk about us ever since what's his name? Stephen Boss passed. All these things I can really relate to it because we don't really take the time because I remember my daughter, because you want your kids to be strong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember her coming to me just a few weeks ago, about a month or so ago, and saying, "Mom, you don't realize that I really do suffer from depression." I'm like, "Girl, you strong like your mama. You cut from your
And
grandma.
that's what
You
I
cut
went
from
through
your
too.
grandma."
I
Saying
went
See?
through
stuff
that
like
too.
that. See what I'm saying? Saying stuff like that. That's not taking it serious what they're really going through. They're crying out right then. They're
Right.
crying out. This is serious. Hello,
And everybody
sweetie.
always looked at me
I love Beyond
as a
Measures. Hey, baby.
strong person, or you strong, you can handle it, you can do this. You
Yeah,
don't know
I
what
get
I
it.
can
You can do
handle.
it.
You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know emotionally what I'm going through and what I'm able to handle. Yeah, my grandmother raised me to be strong. Yeah, a lot of people knew my mother, I'm emotional. Like when going I was going, I'm losing people, going through all this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Emotionally, I'm going through all this stuff by myself. So everybody
Wow.
always assume, oh, you're the strong one. I'm always the one that's picking up the pieces or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, at some point, a person like me is gonna break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
get you. I see what you're saying.
When you got so much on you and responsibility and so always depending on
The strong one is the one that
and
needs the support because too much pressure will bust the pipes. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much pressure. It just keep on piling more and more and more on. So what I
right,
did was since this young man passed, and I'm be honest with you, I keep I'm what's Miss J always say how we keep it up here, you
That's
know,
right.
and I just I have to be real about it. That I was looking at my daughter as, come on now, ain't you a part of me? Because I know what I done been through. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
right.
there was some weak points in my life. I called it being weak, but I had to be strong to survive it. And I expect her to. So I'm like, I'm thinking like, if I feed into that, that's gonna make her weaker. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm not gonna feed into that. I'm gonna show her that or tell her that, you got this hands down. But since Stephen Boss passed and looking at everybody and all the things that they're going through
Yes.
and listening to the words, I call my daughter and I talk to her every day. She lives here, but she's at work. I'll text her, how is your mental space?
Right. Right.
How are you feeling today? Mommy's here if you
There
need to
you
talk.
go. That's right. That's
This
right.
was the eye opener. This was it. I don't know what
Really,
it's going to
Janet?
take for somebody else, but this was it for me. I'm never going to go a day. And, because she told me just because I laugh and smile, I remember her crying one day, that doesn't mean that I'm not, going through. It's
Exactly.
exhausting. She said it's exhausting to keep my
Exactly.
mind right.
It's exactly it. And it's like you faking it till you make it. You know what I'm saying?
That's it
People
right
are
there.
seeing people are seeing the outside. They're not really seeing everything, that you're going through. They're not really, seeing the inside of everything that you're going through. They're not even really focused on what you're going through. They're focused on that what they see the outer appearance and they assume that okay, she's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with her.
Can't look
So
at
as
that.
I was googling, I had googled something, and you just touched on about your child when you was talking about you saying certain things, or you're strong and you this that and the third, and that's one thing that'll make a person extra depressed. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
was reading it was like one thing is to not tell your child to avoid things and saying it's not or cheer up or you're strong or you're something like this. Instead of that, change your way of talking and how you did it, like how you did it with your daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because she might not be strong at the time.
Yeah,
She
and
might.
she needs
Wow.
help. She needs help. It's like, you just broke a bone and now somebody wants you to stand on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I get
No.
it.
Yep.
It
Mm-hmm.
needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
it needs time for healing. It's
Yeah.
got to get to that point. First, you got to brace it, you got to support it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it needs time for healing. It needs
Yep.
rehab. It needs all
Right.
that. You can't stand up on a broke leg right away. I don't care if you put a cane,
Nope.
can't put your pressure on it.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
by me saying those things was putting the pressure. And man, I'm telling you, I hate that young man is gone. He had such a beautiful smile. He was just like, and not to set him apart from anybody else that is taking in life, because they all probably have beautiful smiles. I mean, I've seen many stars that I love used to make me laugh, and they took their lives. And so you got to wonder what's behind the smile.
Right.
You don't look at the person that's always like this.
Right. Exactly.
That's not
Right.
the one. That's not the one. The one is the one that's always like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because they put on a persona for
Faking
you.
it, faking it until they make it.
Yeah,
Faking it until they make it.
yeah.
Faking it to you're right,
Eh,
Varsha. You're right.
That's what they're doing
Fake it till they
because they
make it.
are they are ashamed, and this depression is nothing to be ashamed of.
It's not, y'all. I want y'all to get this. Y'all watching live. Thank you. Y'all get this. If you're feeling depressed, understand, just like Janet said, it's nothing to be shamed about.
No,
It happens. Like that thing called life. It
right.
happens. It
we
will kick
Happens.
your
inherit it.
ass if
We
you ain't
inherit
ready
it.
for it. It
We
will. And then when it start
And
kicking
it happens to
your
some of the
behind,
strongest ones.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
happens to some of the strongest ones.
exactly, Varsha.
it's
But
going
see,
to.
with that day that you decided, let me ask you that, when that day you decided to take them pills, what happened?
Well, when I took those pills, I woke up in the hospital.
Oh
That's
wow.
all
Somebody,
that's
you don't know who found.
um
Okay, now,
well okay, so I know that I called my ex-husband's mother and I let her know I just took all these pills. Um I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm feeling real woozy right now. And then next thing I know, I was in the hospital. So they put me in the little psych ward for like 3 days for like 3 days, and then I got out, and then I just went through a little counseling and stuff like that. But that's where I woke up at. They had them pump my stomach and everything.
Oh
So I
wow.
because
don't
you
know.
didn't
I
want to
don't
die.
know.
You didn't want to die, sweetheart. That's why you made that phone call. You did not want to die. You
You
didn't.
just
And
want
I
to
mean,
get that. You want to get the attention from the people that so-called love you.
Yeah.
You needed that support. The Proverbs put it real clear. Says a true friend shows love at all times and is a brother who was born from times of distress. That's where Miss Angela came from me. She don't even realize that. Going through my illnesses and things of that nature, and also had my pages hacked, and I was going through a lot of stuff that we don't share and get off our chest. And
Mm-hmm.
then
right,
came a true friend in times of distress. A true friend is said, get
right.
up, build you another page, and get started. Do not look back.
That's
That
right.
was
And
yesterday.
that's how
This
Miss
is
Angie
today.
is. That's how she is.
And that's
She
why that
builds. She is
I'm
uplifting.
gonna be loyal to this one, because when you find a true friend, it's like finding
Okay.
a piece of jewel, and you don't want to lose that diamond that you found in the rut.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so you're gonna put that in a very safe place,
Mm-hmm.
heart.
That's
And
right.
so, because you
And
don't
see, a
want to
lot of
take no
people.
chances on losing that, because you want to, you no, it's a rarity.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people out here are not there for one another. No, they're not.
Yes. Yes,
It's
Janet.
just sad. That's why that young man is gone today. He was smiling and dancing and doing all this stuff for everybody, and everybody thought
Yes.
he was happy. He wasn't happy. He was fighting.
He was fighting. And
He
that's
was
what you
fighting.
was doing, Varsha. You was fighting through all that stuff you was going through, you was fighting, you would go to the family gatherings, but all miserable, all inside. See, the thing what is, you couldn't talk to nobody without them. You could talk to somebody, but they next thing you know, everybody in the neighborhood gonna know your business.
Exactly.
That's what you
That's
don't
that.
want. That's what you don't want.
Exactly.
It should
And
have been
that's
somebody tangible. Even like you said, you knew about the hotline. You know, she admitted that she knew about the hotlines. You know, but she
mhm.
didn't
Mhm.
utilize them. But it still
No.
should have been somebody in your corner, that
Yeah,
in your heart, that
yeah.
you know you could sit there. And I know who that was. That was
The
grandma.
one, the one, and that's the one person I could have talked to, but I didn't want to take that to grandma. I didn't want
That's the
my,
way
I
my
didn't want,
baby felt too. And my mother is
like,
gone.
I didn't want her to, I didn't want her to, that'll be something that more or less she was going to worry about me. And I didn't want that on my grandma. And that was the one person that I could go and talk to about anything.
I know. I
You know
remember
what I'm
you
saying?
telling me. I remember you telling me how y'all like that. Y'all was like
Yeah.
that.
But see,
Yeah.
grandma is made from a cloth that you don't know nothing about, babe.
Ho ho.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Grandma been enduring for many years, and God been standing her up because she praying.
Yeah.
She got a serious relationship. She didn't make it to be grandma to be that old, being no fool.
Hmm.
Right.
You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the people that we know that we can reach out to, have faith in
Should,
God that
should
He will
be.
strengthen to
Yeah.
reach out
Yeah.
to them. You
Yeah.
know,
But see, when you
At that particular time, I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I was
yeah.
younger. I was in my 20s.
And you was concerned about.
Um,
Them.
yeah. So, growth, you know what I'm saying, has
yeah,
got
Yeah,
me to that point. Now I still go through my depression. Um, but growth has got me to the mindset of not thinking about that
right.
anymore.
When you're dealing with it, you know how to deal with it. Yeah,
but
it's a
Right.
serious thing. It's so serious it don't make no sense.
let me
Go ahead, Angela. I'm
let me
sorry.
ask you this: What are
And
the
like I said,
ways
the
that
people that you think that are not,
Barsha, that you cope with your depression though? What are the ways? What kind of ways do you cope with your depression?
I find, I just find ways. Of course I pray.
Yeah,
But I find things to do. Um, I find things to, I find like positive, um, quotes, and, just read them. Sometimes I pick up the phone and I just talk to people. They don't know that I'm going through anything, but I'm just talking about something. You know what I'm
I got
saying?
you.
Just to get my
That's
mind off of
that's a
stuff.
sign of anxieties as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that when you
Oh yeah,
pray
I
in
have
this,
anxiety too.
yeah, because all that goes that's in one family. All that they relate
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to each other, and then by you saying you trying to you start staying getting busy doing something else so that you don't your anxieties don't run away with you or your thoughts,
Exactly.
which is anxiety.
Yeah.
Um, all
Hmm.
that is hand in hand. It really is.
Right.
And it can develop into something really, 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 because I remember when I got depressed one time because it just, I don't even want to go through it. That's for another day. It was just so building up that
That's
I
Right.
what she said.
I came into I felt like I was in a cloud of darkness, and I mean literal cloud. Like I couldn't have see. I
Hmm.
mean literally see. I couldn't have see, and it was so cloudy. And I would get up every day just kind of feeling my way around the room, you know,
Wow.
just moving like that. I was in such a dark place that I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Wow.
Or this is
Do
not this.
y'all hear this?
This
How this can happen?
so you don't want to let yourself get to that
I mean,
point
it makes you
yeah,
so sick.
because
It makes you sick.
yeah, make you sick, make you physically sick, and it was taking my eyesight and everything. It was like I was in such a dark hole. I was going to work and didn't know how to got there. You know what I'm saying? It was like really
Wow.
and
Yeah,
moving
I've been there.
around. Yeah,
You
moving
you could
around just
Barsha.
like that.
Oh man.
Blew up,
I've
got
been there.
real big.
I've been coming from work and driving, and don't even realize how I got home, or don't even realize, like, I be so out of it, and that's dangerous when you're driving. That's very
Yes.
Oh
dangerous
yeah, that's
when
Mm-hmm.
you're
crazy.
not
It's
really.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what this segment is doing right now is giving everybody, little clues and what
Yes.
to look for in depression, anxiety, depression that can lead up to actual suicide.
Yes.
Because I did a study on it years ago. I took a class, and they was teaching you about suicide. And you know, a lot of people try to commit suicide, like really commit suicide. They use a gun. Okay,
Yeah.
they you know
Yeah,
Hmm.
gonna pull the trigger. But the downside to that is, what if it don't kill you?
exactly.
It
Yeah.
ricocheted through this man's head because they show pictures. You know, in classes they show everything. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
I know.
they're
Hmm.
teaching you. So when he put it up to his head, he thought it was going to blow his brains out and he was going to be gone. That's not what happened. Okay, that's
Wow.
not what happened.
And
It
that
didn't
can
kill him.
mess you
It
up
didn't kill him.
mentally because you
He
like it's
just messed
supposed to have
himself
killed
up for the
me.
rest of his life.
Yep. Yep.
It
But see,
ricocheted
but
down through and came out the other way. My son, my
wow.
son got shot in the back of his head. By being shooting, getting shot and shooting yourself don't mean that you don't always die. You can be in worse position than you started with, and
Then you
then you
that's
will,
right. That's
and then
right.
you will have a reason to be depressed. Then for real.
But
And
Varsha,
see, I found myself when I get in my depressed mode, I sleep a lot. I
That's
just
another
okay,
problem.
I was getting ready to ask you how do you know though? But how do you know is wait a minute, slow down. How do you know if it's depression that you dealing with that at that particular time, or it's just sadness? You know, just
it's different when you're sad. When you're sad, you're able to kind of pick yourself back up. When you're depressed, you're going through a lot of stuff changes through your day. You get irritable, you go to sleep, you're not able to focus a lot on a lot of things. So like depression and sadness, it still goes hand in hand because depression is sadness. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
it's definitely going.
It's definitely sad. It's definitely sadness. But when you're going through that, you're going through a lot of different things. You got your sleep pattern change, your activities change. You lose interest in a lot of things.
Well, that's
You just don't want to
those
be
are
around
things that you
people.
go through before you get to depression. Sadness is something that you go through on your way to depression, on your way to
Yeah,
suicide. It's a snowball effect.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because
Because
I just what I was reading on it.
yeah,
It's a snowball effect.
but as I was doing the research also, I saw where a lot of suicidal comes from stuff like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia
Yeah, it comes from
disorder,
different. Yeah. Hmm.
depression. A lot of that is comes
And
from
even
being
medicines, even
yes,
Yeah,
medications.
yes, and I saw what
medications.
was some medicines. Yep, I did see what was some medicines that was causing people to have suicidal thoughts, and some people carrying it out. I thought I had it list on this paper to take. It was a couple of 'em. When I saw them, I'm like, what? I didn't know medicine.
Even people that used to smoke cigarettes, that used to take the stuff that keep you from smoking cigarettes. If
Uh-huh.
you read it'll read the label, it'll have you can have suicidal thoughts. So
Yeah,
why are you
and
prescribing?
that's the doggone Zoloft. Remember Zoloft? Remember that one?
Yes, yes,
That's another one.
yes,
That's another one I have you with suicidal thoughts, and it's supposed to
yes.
help you with your anxiety, but
It's
the
called
side effect.
exactly. Yep.
The key is, like I was reading to y'all earlier, is is that the Bible gives you something that doctors can't prescribe.
Hmm.
If you know
Right.
that you have a grander future ahead, that what you're going through right now is temporary, then you have that hope to help you cope. See, that's
Yeah.
the difference. You need something to hope for in order to
Right.
cope for what you're going through for the present.
Hmm.
So
And see, that's what I give.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how
That's what you
Christians
did,
are able to
Varsha.
survive.
Yeah. Yeah. When I found my happiness is cooking and stuff like
I
that.
was getting ready to
And
ask you
the things
how are you now? You know.
the things that I want to do and the things that I want to include in my cooking and what I do with my cooking, I have something to look forward to. Like I want to do certain things. I told you about it, but I can't disclose. But it's certain things that I want to do with my foods and do with my cooking and stuff that I feel like okay now I have my kids that I want to pass this down to them. I want this. I want to do all this stuff. So it's like now, even though I go through my depression and go through stuff like that, I
Mhm.
still have something to look forward to. I
That's your
Yeah.
still and I
passion.
and I And I have that in my head, like, okay, I got so many things that I want to add to my repertoire,
Yes,
my
your
resume. You
repertoire.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So it's like I have so much I want to add to my name before I leave this world. So that's what keeps me going. You
All
know,
Yeah,
right.
I
that's the way
st-
I feel too. I feel that way
and I
too.
also put myself through counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
getting ready to ask you
there
that.
you
Have you
go.
done
There you
that?
go. So that's the way I look for it. That's the way I look at, my studying of the Bible. Is That's my greatest passion. Uh, Understanding the Creator, not just saying this, or not just saying that, but to dig deeper. So that's
Right.
my passion. That's something that I don't know what I would do without that. I really don't, because I know that all these man-made things are temporary.
Hmm.
And in a minute that regardless of whatever we're doing to spend our time is eventually going to come to an halt.
Yep.
But
That's right. That's right.
the grand hope that he promises, and he that cannot lie, because he would be bringing reproach upon his own name. God
Mm-hmm.
cannot lie. That's what gives me the strength to keep going. And I love sharing it with others so that they
Right.
can understand that even at times, like I love cooking too, but cooking sometimes is not going to be it's not enough for me. And so then I turn to God's word and say, remember, I have something greater and grander, that one day that you will never be sick, you will never watch a loved one die, and that you will live forever on a paradise earth the way I intended it in the first place. See, Satan didn't stop my plan. He's not powerful enough to do that. I created him. What he did was just, delayed it a little bit. But what
Mm-hmm.
goes out of my mouth will not come back in without results. So whatever God planned from the very beginning is going to take place. Would you not want to be there to see that? Would you not
That's
want to
right.
be there to see that? Because I want to see my mom rise from the dead. I'm
Mm-hmm.
waiting to see that ultimate prophecy. That's the ultimate prophecy, to see Jesus raise the dead. We've read what he's done in the past, but we're going to get the opportunity to see it in the present. And we
Mm-hmm.
just keep on persevering and keep on, going through the struggles that we got to go through. But he
Yeah.
says, I
Right.
will be with you through all of this. And so when you pray, take that prayer seriously and think about what you're praying for before you pray, because that's
They
real.
say, cast your
Man.
cares upon Jesus. Cast your cares.
Yeah.
Cast them
Man.
all.
Y'all know what? Now y'all be honest if y'all have done this recently, because I gotta admit it. Going back to Twitch,
Yeah.
I have looked. It was a it was the it, slow down. It was the last video dancing routine he did a day before he got ready to take his life. He had posted it on TikTok.
Hmm.
TikTok, right?
Hmm. And a
And
couple days, whatever
I
his
watches
anniversary.
that. I watches it. I watches it, and I have been watching that video over and over and
And you like,
over.
how in the world? What was wrong? Like, what?
Exactly,
And that's your,
Varsha.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I be like, Lord, what? I mean, look at he just dancing and smiling.
And just
You know,
celebrated his
wedding anniversary,
anniversary
just
a couple
celebrate.
days before that.
Yes, and but looking at that video, he dancing, and I'm still, I wired it up, look at it again. I be like, well, Lord, what?
But that's just like when people, you know how people win the lottery and they end up killing themselves or losing their life for suicidal things. I mean, they just got so, it's like some people just got so much that they don't realize that they're still unhappy. It's still something making them unhappy.
It's
Like
right.
money doesn't make you happy, and a lot of other
Mm-mm.
stuff. Like you have to find the inner the happiness, and if
Exactly.
you can't pull
Even,
that out of you, and nobody else can pull that out of you. You know, you're gonna remain like going through the stuff that you're going through.
but
Well,
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be
the
hard.
joy of Jehovah is my stronghold.
my
And
queens, let me tell y'all something. Because Farsa, you just said you gotta find that inner happiness. And I'm gonna say this, and it might step on some folks' toe, but it is what it is. Sometimes, sometimes finding
You gotta
your
let people
own
go.
inner happiness, it may
You let
mean
people go,
you might have to let some people or let some things go.
and that's what I had to
Regardless how long you
do.
been with them, whatever. sometimes you might have to let it go. Let
Yep.
it go. Instead of being that toxic situation, where every time you get off work, but you taking your time getting home because you're
Yep.
not happy. You're not
Yep.
satisfied inside. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You done seen you driving in your car, you just thinking to yourself, maybe I should need to go home tonight. Maybe I should just take this
Yep.
car and drive it on in the
Stop by
river.
Walmart. Stop by Walmart and just walking around
It
Walmart.
just walk exactly. There you go, Varsha. I mean, it's the truth. Sometimes you may have to sit and take a deep look within yourself and say, "Look, I've been doing this or being in this situation, whatever situation it may be, or whoever you may be with, it just causing you some serious, serious unhappiness. I've been in this too long. It's time for me to step back, leave this alone, and think
Right.
about me." Now, Varsha, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and then we gonna wrap it up because I want to know. How 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 could you have told that it was an illness that was causing your depression or your depression causing your illness, causing the illness?
Well, the doctor, and another thing a lot of people don't realize, if you get the proper blood work done, if you go get your blood work done, you'll be able to see your levels like on your blood work is different, like cholesterol, your thyroid, whatever. If your levels are off, that can cause some form of depression that you don't even know about. Like if
Oh,
your
really?
level, yeah, if your levels are off, and like if your levels are off, say for instance, you got something that's causing you to have your anxiety to flare up or something. You got any kind of, or like chronic disease, depression, diabetes, uh, stuff like that. But a lot
Mhm.
of times, if you don't realize that your levels are off in your blood work and stuff like that, it can throw everything out of whack. Your thyroid can throw a lot of stuff out of whack.
Wow. Wow.
So,
She telling the
you
truth.
know,
She telling the truth about that because that's one of the things that was making me kind of thrown off here lately because um, I was having some supplement deficiencies.
hmm
And so if your supplement deficiencies, if you're having supplement problems, like I was B12s, I was off on that.
yep, that's off. Yep,
I was, and it's causing me to have vertigo and everything. All that's got me thrown off.
yep,
So
Wow.
she's absolutely right. Your blood work, quit allowing doctors to say what they want to say about your blood work. Oh, your blood work is good. It's bad. No, I need numbers. I need
I
numbers.
Okay.
need
And then,
like my doctor shows me numbers.
yeah, I need
I
numbers.
go through, I Google everything that they put on my blood work. I go and Google and and
Yeah,
see what it goes to, what
yeah.
body part it goes to, what the levels are supposed to be. Like I go through everything that my doctor gave me. I went through it after they did.
And
And
that's
and
smart.
they mentioned that, okay, this is all, but okay, I know this because I researched it myself. Some
Yeah.
doctors ain't gonna, they just give you your blood work and keep it going.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So you
Right. You're
have to
right,
take the
Varsha.
initiative to see about yourself. That's very
Yeah,
smart of you to do that. And because, I'm just, we all know that that's what the doctor, we just be waiting to hear whether something is good or bad, but we need to
Right.
be doing the
right,
research ourselves because
exactly.
they're getting paid to do a certain amount of work and they are connected with the pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm
And
saying?
they
So,
research stuff too. Like I haven't seen
yeah,
doctors research stuff right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why
see,
would you do it for yourself?
that's right. If
Really?
y'all wonder why I'm wearing a brim up in here today, this felt brim, because it is freezing cold in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I was like,
And
Yeah, it's
I
cold
didn't
here
have
in
time to
VA.
come out of my gear. I got on turtleneck and everything. I didn't have time to come out of my gear. I was stuck in traffic. I was trying to get home to get on this live. This live is very, very important to me. And
And
so
I
I wanted
appreciate
to
you
make
guys for doing it.
sure that
I
I got on
appreciate
this
that.
live. Really, I was just like, I ain't have time to come through the door, slapping on stuff. I had went to got me some vegan, ramen and stuff. And I was trying to jump on that for 5 minutes, had to jump off of that and realize I'm looking in the mirror right now, I still got my hat on. Because y'all
Well,
know
that
And that's it.
that
This is something that like a lot of people, even my family, don't even know that I went through. You
oh
know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
what
so
now?
this is the first time that people are actually hearing the stuff that I went through. Like a lot
Uh,
of people don't even know. Like this, if my sister is watching, this is something that they don't even know like that. So,
Well, you know what? You heard it here first. Boom.
That's
That's
right.
what Miss J
That's
speaks.
right.
It go
And
hard
I
right
told
here.
you, and like I tell everybody else, and Janet and I, we always tell people, this is what this platform is about. Starting your healing journey. Starting your,
mhm,
you gotta, we don't force nobody to come in here and tell their stories. We don't do that. We would never do
right,
that. And if it been a time, if you would have changed your mind, Varsha, and said, I know what, I don't want to do it now, it would have been okay. You see what I'm saying?
right,
We gonna get all mad at you. Why you no, that would have been you're not ready. But see, when people come up here and tell the journeys,
they're
like
ready.
you
They
get
They're
ready.
ready to heal.
this is something that's personal. You see what I'm saying? And
Yes,
you
ma'am.
putting it out there. You see what I'm saying? And to do that, I commend you for that. And
Yes.
I'm glad, and I know
Thank
you
you.
glad that you made that phone call.
And it was
Because you
good
weren't ready to
seeing
go
you.
nowhere. You weren't ready to go nowhere. And
And you don't need to.
I'm so glad you didn't.
And
Because
I'm
your
glad you
babies,
didn't either.
see what you won't think about, what would have happened if your babies would have walked through that door and saw their mama laying there. See, you got to think
Right.
about the trauma that would have been. Hold on now.
We don't have the right to take a life because we are not life givers.
I
First,
know. Look, don't make me cry because
You
yeah,
gotta
because I
no,
actually
no. We
I
keep it
didn't think about
100 up here.
my
We
kids.
keep it
Yeah, I
100 up
didn't think
here. You
about
know how Miss J talk, baby.
yeah.
You have to see, and those people, and I think that's why people go away and do it because they don't want their family member to find them like that. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, I
And
actually sent my kids away. I actually sent my kids away that day.
see,
My kids wasn't even home that day.
see,
So, and I was home. I was home, and yeah, it is.
see.
And
But
I
thank
actually,
God
yeah, I
it
did think
wasn't.
about them, and that should have been the first thing that I thought about.
let your
Was
kids be
my
your
kids,
motivation.
but at that particular mindset, and that particular time, I just didn't think about
But look
anything.
at
But
you. But look at you now, though, boss lady. Look at your
yes, ma'am.
businesses. Tell your businesses is that you got. Look at you. Put it out there. Put it out there. Tell your businesses that you had it.
Well,
Yeah, you boss lady.
I'm a private chef. I'm a private chef and caterer now. And I
Ooh,
do custom designs. I do like custom and like custom hats, custom tray sets. And I also dip and dive in hair. So like I do a lot of natural hair. So I do like braids and locks and stuff like
mm-hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
I
See?
also from time to time I help my husband. He does construction, so I help him. So I know how to do like painting and stuff like that. So I know how to do like some kind of like remodel and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but most of the time I'm doing like my catering or either my private chef. I
Okay.
also
Yes,
have a
y'all.
cooking show on Facebook. I
Mm-hmm.
have a cooking show on Facebook, which I am geared to actually change the name in the beginning of the year. I'm changing the name of I'm rebranding that name. It's called Singing in the Kitchen at this moment. But basically, I go up there and I cook and I show like some of my recipes.
Yep.
I go on live
Well,
sometimes
you
and I
need
cook
to, I didn't
live.
know that. You need to, send me an inbox me so I know which one so I can go support you and then you can come support me. We need to be supporting
Yes,
each other.
ma'am.
We both got cooking shows,
Yep.
I will.
but I'm
Now,
vegan, so
I'm gonna
I'm
tell
I
you.
vegan.
I'm gonna
will.
tell
I'm
y'all.
And
vegan.
I actually do cooking shows like say for instance you cook and if you wanted to like do a cooking competition with me on live, like I also do that in my group.
Yeah, I
And it's
know.
just a friendly competition. It's nothing
Yeah.
like, oh, well, you're gonna win this, you're gonna do that. It's just a little friendly competition. Different styles and showing
Yeah, that
how you
sounds like a
prepare
lot of
yours
fun.
and how. So I mean,
Uh-uh.
I do that because like my food group is a lot different than a lot of other food
Well,
groups.
we need to
A
do
lot of
that. We
other
need
food
to
groups they don't.
hook up and do that and
I'm gonna
go
tell
on
you what we're
there.
gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do next year, 2023. We're gonna get it on the calendar where we're gonna go live with Janet in her kitchen and Varsha in your kitchen. Because then Janet do vegan food.
So I'm gonna, I'm
I
gonna,
do
I'm gonna
some.
mimic. I'm gonna mimic whatever you cook, but I'm gonna do it vegan style.
All right,
So
see,
Okay.
there we go.
I do some vegan food. So I mean, we can touch on
Oh,
vegan.
okay, vegan girl.
oh, okay, Varsha. That's what I'm see. Look, but look at you now. I'm so proud of you. I'm so
Thank
proud of you,
you.
sweetheart. I'm
Thank
proud of
you.
you, and I thank you for coming up here, for sharing your story. Now I'm gonna ask you, Varsha, what advice would you give someone that's on the cusp of thinking about taking their life, or the one that them been through it? What advice would you give?
I would say definitely try to like I was scared to reach out to someone, so definitely if you feel comfortable with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
reach out to somebody. I don't care who it is, somebody, whether it's a pastor, whether it's a mother of the church, whether it's a friend that you might can trust, whether it's somebody that you know that you can trust. Even reach out to even like me, set you an appointment up. I'm licking my fingers because my husband brought me some food and I got some sticky stuff on me. But even if you just reach out to somebody, like talk to somebody just to get it out. Um, don't hold it in and don't be
Yeah.
scared. It's so many people that will actually listen to you. That I mean that even if it's somebody like you, like I know I can come to you and I can talk to you, and I just met you, so it's like you have to build those bonds up with people that you feel like you can trust or
Mm-hmm.
talk to and
Mm-hmm.
talk, vent it out. I don't care if you got to cry it out,
That's right.
cry, pray, whatever, just cry it out. Like if you there, if I could be your shoulder, I'm gonna just let you talk. Like
Right.
I don't care. Like just let somebody. So you have to be willing to trust somebody enough to know that they're gonna be there for you. After that, at least try to find you some kind of support behind you
Yeah,
that'll
that's
keep
Exactly.
the main thing is
checking
everybody
up
ain't
on you.
somebody to reach out to. This take advantage
Exactly.
of
Yeah,
the hotlines, really do. Seriously. The things that are out there for us, take advantage of them. They're there for us. A lot of people are volunteer workers there because they love people, they care. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, just like they have NA meetings, they have NA meetings and AA meetings. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? They have a sponsor or somebody that reaches out to them to
exactly.
say, "Are you okay?" Or check
Because
on
I'm
them from
telling you,
time to
I
time.
did, and I was on the phone with that person all night, and they never
They
had
didn't
to say
care. They don't.
hi to hearing me. They didn't never try to
Nope.
brush me off.
Nope.
They didn't do none of that. So if you ain't got no friend or no family, don't worry about it. Go to the hotlines and pray,
And I
because
said,
I'm
got the
telling you,
hotline number. I got the hotline number down there. You just text that number
great.
988. That's for the suicide and crisis lifeline. Hours, 24 hours a day. And they in
And
English and Spanish. There it is. All you gotta do is text, not call. You text 988, right?
There you
That's gonna
go.
put you to that suicide and crisis line.
I
24
mean, even
hours
if
a
you
day.
call 911, even if you call 911, somebody's gonna show up, and somebody's gonna, somebody's gonna
And don't be
come,
afraid or
and
ashamed to
you
tell
can talk to
somebody.
somebody, and somebody can talk to you. They can talk to you up
So
until
my closing statement is,
right.
because I got to get off of here, y'all, is that um, visit jw.org,
Hmm.
jw.org.
And we're gonna leave
They
it up
have
there.
many related topics to what we were just talking about, and it's all Bible based, because I know God can only handle this. Man can't handle this.
Hmm.
What we all have been through. They have topics like, can the Bible help me if I'm depressed? What should what you should know about mental disorders? They got, Awake
Right.
magazines that
Hmm.
depression. How does it feel? A lot of people don't know how it feels. Teen depression. Why?
Hmm.
What can
I was
help?
about to say something about that.
And
Yeah.
I
What
won
is it,
my
boss? You
battle.
get
And this
finished.
is one that most women that had babies, they even got a magazine on this. And I won my battle with postpartum.
Hmm.
So jw.org has something for everybody. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what Bible you read. It's got many Bibles on there. You choose the one that you like. If you read out of King James Version, tap on the King James Version. You see what I'm saying? It's got videos to bring things to life. It's got drama reading in case your eyes is bad. You could just listen to it. You see what I'm saying? It's got animated stuff for young children. It's got something for everybody, but all Bible-based, because we're not going to get through this, y'all, without our Heavenly Father. He is the strongest one. He the one who created us, okay? He knew where this came from. He told us. I just read it in the Genesis. All this, where it began. Our forefathers and mothers created this monsters. What you call it? I want to say germ, but it's not. It's a disease called sin. And from that sin, that disease, we have side effects of depression, physical ailment, can't see, the infirmities, we crippled, blind, you know what I'm saying? And even mental disorders, crazy, known as crazy. All that came from those two parents because of what they did. We cannot avoid it. It's going to, it's everywhere. How we can get through it is follow the Christ examples. Draw closer to God, because they got something that's way better than man can give you.
Ain't that something?
That hope
Amen.
that helps you cope in your now circumstances.
I would say this too. As parents, even as friends, pay attention to your kids, pay attention to your friends. If you see that they're distance, or they're keeping a lot, or they're not physically focused, or not, ask them questions. Are you okay? Do you need to talk to somebody? Like, pay attention to the signs. That's what we need to educate ourselves also, the signs, and what signs do we need to be looking out for when it comes to our kids, when it comes to our friends.
AW.org got all that right there for you. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
These magazines have all that to help you to recognize what you should be doing as the person that maybe be around somebody. And that's a good clue. That's a wonderful thing you say, because we do need to be, aware.
Aware, yeah.
Awareness is everything. We need to be aware of the people that we affiliate ourselves with. Our family.
If you say you love that person, you'll pay attention to that person.
We should be loving everybody. There shouldn't be nobody that you don't love. It needs to be your co-worker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The woman sitting next to you on the bus. It doesn't the stewardess when you're on the plane. You
just pay attention.
Pay attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much. With that being said,
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Vasha.
We love you, Vasha.
Thank you so much for coming.
I love you guys.
And we hope that we've given y'all some information that's going to help someone that's struggling. And don't be afraid to let somebody know that you having thoughts of harming yourself. Let somebody know that, okay? Don't be afraid to do that. And there's that number you text, 988. With that being said, we out of here.
Bye.